Namers, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Say it. It feels good. All right, folks, time for liftoff. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
Here we go.
0. Ignition.
Welcome aboard.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
Yes. Welcome, my amigos, wherever you may be tuning in from, whether you're at the gym, whether you're just waking up, whether you're taking a nap, although I don't know how you can nap during this show. Welcome. I thank you for joining us here today for another exciting interactive edition, entrega, we say edition, of the show with no name, here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget you can catch all our amazing programs on the Vaughn Radio app or wherever you get your favorite podcasts, so you don't have to miss any episodes of your favorite shows, whether they be the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams or Kyle Miller's Drive Time, or Fits and No Excuses, whatever your poison may be. You don't have to miss an episode ever. They are all recorded. And that's why I got to be careful too. My daughter can go back and listen to these episodes, when I'm gone. Cuando yo ya no estoy. So I got to be careful what I say. I have to say I have matured quite a bit. I guess having a kid will do that to you. You're kind of forced to grow up. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still a kid, and my inner child is alive and kicking, as you know. Vivito y coleando, is that what you say? Alive and kicking. But I've grown up. I'm sure there are many things I've said in the past, or if I heard them now, it would be weird. But hey, as we say in English, live and learn. Live and learn.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. You can get all the information about our masters, Vaughn Town, Weekend Town, summer camps, whatever you may be looking for. All the information is at our website. And also, if you're following us on social media, then you'll know what we want you to know, especially events, special deals. Like last week, we had a special deal for Father's Day. We've got an upcoming event, April 1st. As you guys know, it's a Vaughn Radio Trivia Night with our buddy Fitz. We'll all be there. I hope you guys will be joining us there as well. So tons of great things. Tons of things you can do. Not just learn English, but you can even make friends. Who knows? You might find your significant other. Tan formal, right? tu media naranja, your soulmate. You know, well, first things first, you need to have things in common. And if learning languages is a passion, who knows? I'm sure there are people who have met at language exchanges or similar events. I'm sure of it. I mean, why not? It's a great place. It sure beats the we met in a bar story, ¿no? Esto de que nos conocimos en un bar. Bueno, okay, it's okay. It's now it's we met online. Grindr, Tinder, whatever the hell it's called. I'm way out of the loop. Desactualizado. I am out of the loop. Y fijaos, no he dicho out of, he dicho outa. I'm out of the loop. Man, the dating scene must be crazy now with all the digital stuff, you know? I remember the good old days. Listen to Grandpa over here. You know, I used to have to go out, go to the movies, go bowling. You'd have to do something, right? It wasn't like, well, we'll chat for like a couple weeks and then, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Hey, that's the way it works, though. Things are always changing. The only thing constant is what? Change, correct? All right, amigos. So, we're going to take a look at in our pop quiz today, Inglés Gramática Fácil. Inglés Gramática Fácil is 180 lessons. That's right, 180 lessons. It is basically, it's a Bible, I would call it. Richard Vaughn is on the cover, and it's got around 4 hours of audio that we're going to listen to a little excerpt from right now. But this is, I mean, I've got to say, this has got it all. And as I said, it's broken down, desglosado, it's broken down into 180 different lessons. And in those lessons, you'll get grammar lessons, you'll get common mistakes, pronunciation hacks, and things like that. And as always, as with all our materials at Von Tienda, it comes with audio. All right, so this is Inglés Gramática Fácil. It's available at Von Tienda for $15.75. I mean, just the audio itself is worth it. So are you ready for today's pop quiz? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, well, you know what material it's from. Again, it's Inglés Gramática Fácil, available at Von Tienda. And today we're going to look at some indirect questions. And we're also going to look at these structures that tend to mix people up, to be used to get used to, usually. And don't worry, we will clear it all up by the end of the first section today. I was going to say by the end of the show, but no, by the end of the first section, we will clear up all doubts, all these weak points, if you will, puntos débiles, with indirect questions and el used to, el be used to. Listen, just yesterday in class with a student, I had a morning class, and the student, and I know the student knows it, they made a mistake with this structure. So I've got to say it, even though you know it, and you know it, in theory, it's not the same as does it come out right every time you need to, and I think most of you know what I'm talking about. The common mistakes around used to be used to get used to. So we'll check it all out. This is from Inglés Gramática Fácil. As always, pay attention because I will have some challenges for you right after.
Day 51. Indirect questions. Listening challenge. Where did Mary go? What time will he arrive? Did he like it? Who could they ask?
Day 25. Pasatiempo. Ms. Murray, you're the Duchess's service maid, so you must have known where the jewels were. And Bill Davis, the gardener, saw you that day.
He's lying. I can't have stolen the jewels because I wasn't at the residence that day.
You'd better have a good alibi.
Well, I was at home. Alone. Actually, why don't you interrogate Bill? He might have stolen the jewels.
Don't worry, we'll interrogate him.
Maybe he saw Tracy, the other maid. We look quite alike. Yes, he must have seen her and thought it was me.
Now, back to you, madam. Who would be able to confirm that you were at home that day? Someone must have seen you. What about your neighbours?
My neighbours must be on vacation. I haven't seen them in a few days. But my cat was at home with me the whole time. Does that count?
You'd better stop playing games, young lady.
Day 28. To get used to. Listening challenge. He's getting used to the new job. It took him a while to get used to it. We can't get used to the heat. I still haven't gotten used to their accent. I've gotten used to having lunch at 3 p.m.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town, Vaughan Town, our masters, or any of our amazing initiatives, just go to grupovaughan.com, or you can stop by in person. It's in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. So if you live in one of those amazing cities, drop by. We looked at that word last week. Also, last week, I gave you this week's question of the week. Has anybody started working on it? This is our weekly speaking section where you send me an audio note. You record it on your phone and you send it to me. Keep it at around a minute. As I said last week, we've had a couple students go into the 2-minute zone. It's okay, but then it's not the exercise, right? The exercise is tell me 1. Okay, you might say, and a runner-up. Un segundo puede ser tal. But if you tell me 3, and then it's over 2 minutes, then, well, if everybody does that, then guess what happens? Then the section lasts too long. And, I like to mix it up. As you guys know, when we do question of the week, we'll do the homophones or double trouble in between. And, just to keep you on your toes, to keep you participating as well. A little bit of passive, little bit of active, little bit of passive, little bit of active, right? Like the joke section, you really don't have to do anything. Just sit back, relax, see if you get the joke or see if it goes over your head. All right. So this week's question of the week, who is the baddest baddie ever? Right? In your opinion, who's the baddest bad guy or gal? Gal is another way of saying girl in American English. Ever. Okay, now it can be, as I said, you can be creative here. You can say a real person if you want. Sure, why not? There's no limitations here. The only thing is you have to defend your point of view. So if you say it's Darth Vader, Why? Is it the voice? Is it, you got to elaborate a little bit, but all at around a minute. Because if you go into 2 minutes, are you elaborating or are you going on a tangent? See, it's like when you leave your friends a voice note on WhatsApp. When you do a minute, okay, everybody's got a minute. When it's 4 minutes, it's a podcast now, officially. So, and speaking of a podcast, I just started doing a radio podcast, radio/podcast, like the show with no name. And it's with my daughter. And we started doing it because her school started a radio initiative to get the kids producing. In fact, I was called in to train them, formarles, the teachers using the equipment, recording, all of that stuff. I'm no expert, but I produce a lot of content, video, audio. Again, there are many, many people better than me at that, but I'm confident enough to teach people the basics they need to be able to produce good audio, to be realistic with their expectations. Because you're like, oh, it's just a 5-minute podcast. Yeah, but it doesn't just take 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes is the actual recording time. As you know, usually that times that by 5, multiplícalo por 5, and that's usually the production time, depending on what you're producing, obviously. So the good news, I'll be sharing it with you guys here on the show with no name as well. It hasn't aired yet. I've already recorded 2 episodes with my daughter. We did 1 episode on sick and under the weather. So we talk all about, they're short. They're like, they're usually under 3 minutes. So anywhere from 4 tops. And I think you guys are going to like them. In fact, I have a couple WhatsApp groups with some of the parents, and I've been, just when somebody like myself, when we create something, we like to get some feedback from people before it's like official. And people we trust. And so I sent it to, actually my wife sent it in the group, and they were like, this is amazing. We love this. It's brilliant. Obviously they're talking about my daughter's accent, not, she does all the work, right? I teach, and she just, oh man, she's excellent. So I'll share that with you guys once it airs there. I'm going to let it air on the school's website first. And then, but today I'll tell you what, in the second part of the show, I'll play the intro for you. How's that? I can play the intro, which is produced by yours truly, un servidor, with in collaboration with my daughter, who is, she steals the show, como se dice en inglés. Buenísima expresión, to steal the show. Se lleva el público, no? She steals the show. All right, so that's question of the week. Question of the week, the baddest baddie ever. You can send that to alonso@grupovon.com. New podcast with my daughter, just a short podcast, but as show with no name listeners, I will share that with you guys as well. In fact, I think you're going to love the intro that I'm going to play for you in just a little bit. Plus, we've got the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, and I think that's everything. All right, well, let's take a look at today's pop quiz. Now, these are going to be pretty tough today, but, I want to make sure we really, really get these different concepts, okay? So, the first one, today they're very specific. This is, pretend you're asking me, okay? I always say personalize it, find a place to use it. Well, here it is. You're talking to me. ¿Cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España? Number 1, es una pregunta. Creo que lo sabes, pero por si acaso. Alberto, ¿cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España? Or Madrid, whatever you want there. Make it, it's real, right? I can answer the question. The second one, I want you to use el acostumbrado, el cuánto se tarda, pero en indirecto. So the second one is no sé cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to repeat them in just a moment. So the second one, no sé cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España. And the third one, and this reminds me of my daughter every time I teach this expression. Ella está acostumbrada a salirse con la suya. No, quiero que me uses un question tag ahí al final también. Okay, so again, there's a method to my madness. We're practicing actually indirect questions, el cuánto se tarda question, and also question tags. So any questions? You won't have any questions after I clear it up. So let me repeat them because they are specific. They're a little bit long, but again, I think these are worth looking at, and they all are, I chose them specifically for a reason. Okay, so number one, ¿cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España? Number two, lo puedes decir justo después, ¿no? En la misma conversación. No sé cuánto tardaste en acostumbrarte a vivir en España. O no estoy seguro. Put something before the question. I want it to be an indirect question if you haven't figured that out yet. Okay? And the next one, ella está acostumbrada a salirse con la suya. No. All right, there you go, my amigos. Those are your 3 examples in today's pop quiz. All right, let's warm up. I've got some examples over here with used to, be used to, get used to. First things first. Let's take a look at I used to. So apunta. Esto es sujeto más used to. Esto es el pasado. I used to live in New York. I used to. Es un sonido, right? I used to live in Chelsea. I used to go to more concerts. It's un pasado que ya realmente no haces, right? I used to be more nervous, whatever. Cosas que tú ya no, right? Da la implicación, no es que lo hiciste ayer, es que lo hiciste en un momento y ya no lo haces. That's the weight behind it, ¿no? La connotación que conlleva, right? I used to. Y es una sola, used to. I used to. I used to live in New York. I used to live in Orlando, right? Anybody who's traveled around, you can use it. So esto es sujeto, used to, que es el verbo, eat, right? Y se usa en el presente. I used to eat, I used to go, I used to smoke, ¿no? Hay mucha gente que fumaba. I used to smoke. I don't. O sea, podrías seguir perfectamente con I don't anymore. Okay, ya no lo hago. All right? So that's sujeto más used to. Then you've got to be used to. Aquí empleamos el be. I'm used to teaching classes. Well, I've been teaching classes for over 20 years, right? I got used to it quickly. O sea, si no ponemos verbo, el verbo tiene que estar en el gerundio, si lo ponemos, right? I'm used to teaching, I'm used to it. Pero también puedes poner un sujeto, un sustantivo. So you can say, I'm used to good food. Fine. Pero al momento que es verbo, I'm used to eating good food. ¿Por qué confunde? Porque en español dice, estoy acostumbrado a comer, no a comiendo. Right? Y ahí viene, right? So, hey, I'm trying to help you guys before you give me your examples. So, eso es, vamos a, okay, so, primero es I, sujeto, used to. Pon un ejemplo, I used to smoke, I used to eat fast food, I used to, cosas que ya no haces. Hazte una lista y dilo en voz alta. ¿Ok? Ahora, esto, cuando lo ponemos en pregunta, como es pasado, es, did you used to live in New York? Yeah, I used to. Did you used to? Y la negación, I didn't used to. I didn't used to. So esto coge el pasado, el mismo auxiliar que el pasado simple, right? Used to. The next one is to be or to get used to. El momento que empleas el ser o el estar, el was, were, el am, el are, o el get o el got, before used to, and there's a verb after it, that verb is the gerund. Es el gerundio, okay? And usually, I've had people mix this up too. I used to go to your class. No, I usually listen. So you got usually, que es normalmente. You got I used to, yo antes hacía tal cosa. I'm used to eating, estoy acostumbrado. I got used to eating, me acostumbré. So a little bit confusing, but as I said, if you practice it, I see a lot of you have already participated in our pop quiz, which is awesome. Got a lot of participation, but we're going to check your comments after this quick commercial break, my amigos. Also, we'll review some indirect questions as well, since the second one is an indirect question. We'll also review how long does it take, because that's a confusing question. Es que hay muchas partes ahí. You know, there are a lot of moving parts, so to speak, como quien dice. All right, folks, we'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos! Welcome back. It's part 2 of today's show with no name. We are going to kick off with your Say What soundbite. Today, I think it's going to be an easy one. I think so. So we'll listen to that 2 times. We've got our pop quiz answers. I see we've got a lot of people participating, which is awesome. A nice round of applause for our show with no namers who are here day in, day out, learning, laughing, and having fun with us. Thank you. Thank you for being such an amazing part of the show, bringing the magic. How did you do, folks? Let's take a look. A lot of people participating in our pop quiz. The answers look good so far. All right. Well, we'll see. We shall see. And today's spelling bee. Ooh, gonna be a tough one today, folks. I see a lot of vowels in there. Muchos vocales. I know how much you love your vowels, especially A, E, I. ¿A que sí? I know, porque digo I y tú piensas en I latina cuando realmente estamos hablando de la E en inglés. Well, folks, as promised, lo prometido es deuda. Here is the intro of our new podcast, the new podcast I'm doing with my daughter, and I hope you like it. Here we go. Who's ready to learn English?
I am, Daddy.
Great, 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 great.
Welcome to Alas Inglés with my daddy.
And my lovely daughter. Vamos a aprender inglés y reírnos juntos.
Learn with us. Aprende con nosotros. Let's go, amigos. Goes.
All right, awesome job. Hey, not me. I'm talking about my daughter. All right, folks, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Come on now.
Say what?
Hey, hey. Yes. All right, folks, here's your Say What soundbite. I can tell you right off the bat, it's from a movie, so we can get that out of the way. Quitamos eso de medio. But as always, I want you to give it a listen or two and see what you hear. First, you can tell me in your own words, and hopefully by the end of today's show, somebody will be able to give it to me word for word. All right, is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame.
Ogre, ogre,
People judge you differently than they did in high school.
ogre, 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 ogre.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. No lo pude evitar. I couldn't help it. It makes me, well, you know what? I love this movie, and I'm just imagining, the scene, and I'm cracking up over here. All right, let me play it for you a second time, and we'll see if you guys can figure out what they're chanting, right? Están haciendo cánticos like, oh, oh. All right, well, here it is, folks. Your Say What soundbite for the second time.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame.
Ogre, ogre,
People judge you differently than they did in high school.
ogre, 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 ogre.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. vaughantienda.com. As you know, you can find everything you're looking for there, whether it's my latest book, This Book is the Shit, or Inglés Gramática Fácil, where you've got hundreds of lessons, hours of audio, and whatever your needs may be, we've got you covered. So follow us on social media, and you can always reach out, contactar por ahí. All right, speaking of reaching out, I see we've got a lot of students reaching out here in our group. So let's see who's in the house today. we've got Open Waters. Open Water says, happy day, classmates and teacher. What's up, Open Waters? Great to have you here, ready to rock. Born to Iron Man says, morning, amigos. No, wait, morning. Muy nativo ahí el morning. Morning, amigos. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you as well. There's lovely Laura, bringing a little bit of magic. And she says, good morning, lovely show with no-namers. Birds of a feather flock together. Chi si assomiglia si piglia. Oh, I remember that one from our Italian section. Yo siempre lo digo al revés en español. Digo, Dios los junta y ellos se crían. But I know it's Dios los cría y ellos se juntan, right? We say birds of a feather flock together, and we looked at that one. We got that one in our Italian section, and we've got another one lined up for this Wednesday as well. So stay tuned, and thanks, Laura, for your lovely contributions to the show. All right. Laura says the radio podcast with your daughter sounds exciting. Well, the thing is, too, like we look at basic stuff. Like a lot of my students, because I've, as you can see, I have a lot of guinea pigs, conejitos de Indias, and I've sent it to them, and their reaction was, this is the stuff I need to review. For example, we look at sick, ill, under the weather, right? And the first thing I say, I go, do you say seek? And she goes, no, it's sick. So you can learn from Lara's pronunciation. Believe me, it's amazing. So the first episode, we looked at the expression to be under the weather. We looked at sick, ill, synonyms for that. As I said, they're quite short, just one little concept, a mini class, and then there's a review at the end. So this week we recorded the days of the week. And basically, well, what happens there is we go through the days of the week. I tell a joke as well. So I think you guys are going to love it because, well, you're learning with my daughter, and she loves learning. You can tell in her voice, there's like a passion. Oh, like her daddy, like her mommy. We both love learning as well. So I guess whether we did it on purpose or not, we've instilled that in her. I think partly, yeah, you want to instill that, inculcar, the word in Spanish, to instill that in your child. All right, let's see. We've got Laura. Laura's participating in our pop quiz. And she says, how long did it take you to get used to living in Spain? Perfect. So how long did it take you to get used to living? ¿Ves? Ahí es donde viene el error. Muchos quieren poner to get used to live. Nope. To get used to living. Y yo sé, porque dices el to, pues tiene que ser infinitivo. No. Right? Lo mismo que I look forward to seeing you next week. Es otro ejemplo donde no le sigue un infinitivo al to. Hay 3 o 4, pero si te la sabes, well, look at that. You got it out of the way. So excellent job, Laura. So far, so good. The next one, she says, I don't know how long it took you to get used to living in Spain. Excellent. So now it's an indirect question. Remember, indirect questions are the same as the affirmative, grammatically speaking. So let's start with an easy one. What time is it? Quiero que me seas polite. Could you tell me? Go ahead, your turn. Could you tell me what time it is? Right? It's not what time is it? Ahora cambia a it is. Right? So that's something that's not the same in Spanish. But bear it in mind. Bear it in mind. And usually, at least in my case, I find most of the questions I ask are indirect questions. Well, because I want to be polite. Do you know what time the store opens? Instead of what time does the store open? Do you know what time the store opens? La S va con el opens, lo mismo que haría en una afirmación. So you got to get to know those. The best way, get a list of questions. You can even use Chat GPT. Get a list of questions. Look, let's do it right here. I'm going to use Google because I've got it open. List of common questions. Let's see. Tell me about yourself. Okay, what are your strengths? Can you tell me what your strengths are? Right? What are your weaknesses? Do you know what your weaknesses are? What are your goals? Could you tell me what your goals are? Do you have any questions? Can you tell me if you have any questions? Why do you want this job? Can you tell me why you want this job? So, as you can see, what motivates you? Can you describe your ideal job? You can take all of these and make them indirect questions. And start with the basic ones. What time is it? Where are you from? I don't know where you are from, right? And this way you're practicing not just the indirect, but you're practicing the affirmative, the structure of the affirmative. So you need it no matter what. No pase lo que pase. So excellent job there, Laura. You nailed it. The gerundio, which was one of the big mistakes I find here. And also you did the structure of the indirect question perfectly. All right, and let's see if she's got the question tag and the idiomatic expression, salirse con la suya. She's used to getting her way, isn't she? Laura, 3 for 3. Perfect. Perfect. All right, Open Waters says, how long did it take you get used to living in Spain? Okay, no está mal, te falta el to. So how long did it take you to take you to, o sea, pones el to después de you. How long did it take you to get used to living, no live, pero eso me imagino que lo pusiste después, right? Acuérdate, cuando es get o be delante de used to, el gerundio o sustantivo. How long did it take you to get used to the radio show, for example? Okay, so just a couple adjustments there. Añadimos el to y el ing. How long did it take you to get used to living in Spain? And the next one, I don't know how long did it take. No, porque did it take, ya no es ya es la directa, y aquí es la indirecta. So I don't know how long it took you to get used to living, otra vez, living in Spain. And let's see, the last one, she is used to getting away with it, isn't she? Yeah, to get away with it means there's no consequences. Similar. A ver si lo explico. Okay. So to get your way, we always do what you want to do, right? You're the boss. You're always, you're always winning, right? And to get away with it means you do bad things and there are no consequences, right? So the robber got away with it. He didn't go to jail. Right. So similar, but different, right? To get your way means, man, we always do what you want to do. Fine. Huh? You're always getting your way and you're always getting away with it. It implies that you've done stuff that you shouldn't be doing too. So just to clear those up, but great stuff. Excellent. Open Waters. Chris Valrol says, morning. Fantastic show with no-namers. Our grass is the greenest. I love it because last week we looked at the grass is always greener. Como que, no, siempre queremos lo que no tenemos, right? It's human nature. And she says, not to use the original idiom, we are in the right place. That's right, Chris. Right place, right time. Doesn't always happen. All right, let's see. Chris says, how long did it take you to get used to living in Spain? Perfect. The indirect one, I don't know how long it took you to get used to living in Spain. Perfect. And the third one, she's used to getting her way, isn't she? And a question tag. She does a lot of work, doesn't she? She eats a lot of candy, doesn't she? She ate a lot of candy, didn't she? O sea, tiene que hacer juego, right? Con el verbo, y evidentemente si es positivo, lo haces en negativo. You will be here tomorrow, won't you? O sea, si es afirmación, lo cambias a negación, ¿ok? Y tiene que ser en el mismo tiempo verbal. Excellent job, ladies. Born to Iron Man says, how long did it take you to get used to living in Spain? Perfect. It's a hard structure, guys. The next one, I don't know how long it took you to get used to living in Spain. Perfect. And the last one, she's used to getting her way, isn't she? Great. Wonderful. Open Water says, I fell in all. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. That's how you learn. As I said before, live and learn. Right? The same way with the capitalization of the days of the week and these things. Well, you don't know until someone tells you. And, well, as your teacher, just doing my job. Open Water says, oh, no, I already saw that comment. That's weird. Sometimes it repeats comments over here. Let's see. Where were we? Laura says, sounds great. Talking about the intro to our new podcast. She says, Lara's laughter is contagious. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That's not her laugh. It's a sound effect. Oops. Although she laughs in every episode, you know, especially when I tell the joke. In fact, when I tell the joke in the latest episode, I think it's a pity laugh. She's like, Dad. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's laughing just so I don't feel bad for, you know, a pity laugh, as I just said, de pena. So it isn't her laughter. I used a sound effect I had, but it is her voice when she says, yeah, Daddy, come on, Daddy. So thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Laura says, now you know, Open Water. Yeah, you live and learn, live and learn. And Open Water says, you can take that to the bank. Mira, y te has llevado un totally native. You can take that to the bank. Es claro que sí. Puedes apostar por ello. Okay? Chris says, I love it. Alberto and Lara, you have great chemistry. Yeah, there quitaríamos el A. You guys have great chemistry. Sin el A, porque lo usamos como un incontable aquí. Thank you. Thank you. And she's great. She's great. She makes it so easy. And she already has her fans. As I said, some of my students, my private students, some of the daddies, the mommies and daddies in the group. So thank you for adding to that feedback. Let's see. Laura's got something to say about our Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an excerpt from a comedy movie in which a group of people are cheering someone, and that person has just realized they are talking about them. Yep. Okay, it's a comedy. There's a group of people cheering or chanting. Vamos, vamos, right? Chanting. And these people, you got it. Yeah. One of the guys doesn't think so, but the other guy says, yeah, they're talking about us here. Now, do you get what they're chanting? Laura also says, great Italian pronunciation, Alberto. Well, I've got the best teacher out there, the best Italian teacher. Let's see. Chris says, I heard an American guy who's talking about something related to college. Absolutely, Chris. A group of enthusiasts, perhaps, from a university fraternity. Yes, frat boys. Can also be heard making a fuss. Excellent. Good ear. Great ear. Let's see. German says, morning, guys. I love how you guys leave out the G. Sois muy americanos, eh? Morning. That's how I never say morning. O sea, nunca digo una G en mi vida. Lo sé ahora con mi hija, porque ella lo repite como yo. So my daughter says, are you eating? Are you showering? Are you brushing your teeth? She never says brushing. Why? Because I don't. Why? It's not necessary. Why add that G? It's uncomfortable to put it in there. It's uncomfortable, just like the word uncomfortable. So morning to you too, German. German says, I've got a redundant sentence. Let's see. I'm getting used to living new experiences and committing to getting the strength to do it every day. Hey, what a tongue twister. Careful with the spelling, not the pronunciation, but careful with the spelling of the word strength. Okay? The T, so it's STRENGTH, right? Instead of HT. That's a word. That word and the word height, altura, I feel like those are words that people misspell. Even when I say people, I mean even native speakers misspell those words, strength, height, and a lot of my students mispronounce them too, because it's a difficult one. Just the other day in class, my student said, my daughter's hate. And por un segundo, I was like, what? El odio de tu hija? And we were talking about rides, atracciones, and I said, oh, wait. Your daughter's height. Oh, okay, height. Hate, right? But hey, how do we learn? How does she know that she was mispronouncing that word wrong until she used it? And I said, hang on one second, Maripuri. Her name isn't Maripuri, obviously. I use like Maripuri like Menganito, right? And so, hey, live and learn. That's our motto today and every day. All right, and I see Born to Iron Man and Laura cheering on their mates. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. It's really great. Not just the English stuff. You do the English stuff really fucking good. Really good. I mean, amazing. The creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. But also the way you support each other, the way you cheer each other on, that is really admirable. It's a beautiful, magical thing, if you will. All right, amigos, we have got to go to a commercial break. I can't believe it. We're at the halfway point. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. All right, well, when we come back, we'll take a look at some homophones. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. Then we've got our spelling bee. We've got Double Trouble. We've got famous birthdays. Name that lyric, name that movie, and so much more still to come. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 3. Oh, my God. Part 3 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Stay tuned because right after today's show, you can learn English with the lovely Jimena Holiday and her program, Test Your English. You've also got Rob and Andy in the lunchtime show for a little bit of banter with your best buds. You've got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares and her soothing voice. Soothing, te tranquiliza. That's important, right? You gotta like your teacher's voice. You're gonna hear your teacher. And after that, you've got a man who's got many voices. He does some really amazing impressions. He's a talented musician. I'm talking about Mr. Dave Boys and the Salad, followed by Kyle Miller, who means business, que va en serio, on drive time every day. You can listen to him on your commute home. After that, have a cocktail with Chris Frank and Frankly Speaking. You've got Richard Vaughn Live. You've got the Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez. Rob Grams and the Probo Show. And right before this show, a master class with the teacher trainer extraordinaire, Fitz, and his program, No Excuses. I was going to change the name. No motherfucking excuses. Os gusta más? Hey, talk to Fitz. I don't have that. Because No Excuses is a great name. But what if it's no motherfucking fucking excuses. I think you would tune in every day, because if that's the title, oh, you don't want to know what would happen if you didn't tune in. All right, my amigos, let's kick off with today's Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no
Name.
The show with no homophones.
That's right, amigos. It's Homophones here on the Show with No Name. I'm going to give you 2 words from the English language. Well, I'm going to give them to you in Spanish. I want you to give me the words in English, as always. And I also want to know, the cherry on top here is, I want to know if the words sound identical, exactly the same or not. The first word is maldito, jodido, puñetero. Right? If you say it a secas, it's maldito sea, mierda, caramba. Caramba, I've never heard here in Spain. Caray, I've heard. Right? Maldito sea. But it also is of saying terriblemente, jodidamente. Okay? It's also to maldecir a alguien. Okay? What else? Yeah. Y luego, si le añadimos una ed como adjetivo, es condenado. Okay, condenado. All right, so pretty common word. As you can see, it has a lot of different meanings. Maldito, puñetero, maldita sea, terriblemente, jodidamente, maldecir. And the second word means presa or dique, so a water barrier. Okay. What else? It's also the verb too. Represar, contener, reprimir, detener el agua. So, as you know, in English, we love that stuff, right? It's also a represa, right? Represa, or you say pantano here, maybe. Okay. So, yeah, that's what it is. It's not as rich as the first word, but it's a good word to know. You know, why not? You've got a lot of them in Spain as well. I know, because sometimes I go kayaking. I said kayak. Well, you say kayak too. All right, so those are your words. What are they, and do they sound exactly the same? Also, here's your Say What soundbite for the third time.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame.
Ogre, ogre.
People judge you differently than they did in high school.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. More information about Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, any of our initiatives. Remember, follow us on social media. We also have a newsletter you can subscribe to, or stop by in person if you're in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. All right, let's take a look at our homophones. We got a lot of people participating, so whether you got it right or wrong is irrelevant right now. Just the fact that you're participating, you guys are head and shoulders. Un peldaño más, right? You are head and shoulders, como el champú. You are head and shoulders over the average English learner in Spain. I can tell you that. I can guarantee that. So that's just right there. The amount of effort that you put into it, and the energy, las ganas. Really, it's inspirational. All right, let's see. First person. Now, imagine you guys all get it wrong. No. Let's see. German gives us the correct words, and he says they are homophones. Born to Iron Man agrees. Open Water says, I think they are homophones. Laura says they sound alike. Chris Valrol as well. German giving us a play on words over there. Okay. All right. So let's see here. The first word, damn. Did I pronounce the N? I didn't say damn because the N silent. Damn. Damn it. Damn it. Muchas veces. Damn. Give me the damn thing. Dame la jodida cosa, right? Now, a lot of times, too, they do this, but sacrilegious. God damn. No? Dios, maldito, dicho por Dios. Give me the goddamn pen. Okay, my mother, personally, she would be offended by that. Because she said, why don't you just say damn? Why do you have to bring God into it? So just so you know, damn is not an offensive word, but it can be. You're a damn idiot. Ahí es ofensivo, right? But if you say, man, you make a damn good pie. Jodidamente buenísimo es de tarta que me has hecho. So again, everything in context there. And the second word, well, si no pronunciamos la N en la primera palabra, pues es la misma palabra. So yes. Damn the damn. Que le den a la maldita presa. Damn the damn already. There's a funny scene, if you know the Chevy Chase vacation movies. They have one called Vegas Vacation, and they go visit the Hoover Dam, which is a famous dam in the United States. And it's funny because they play, okay, everybody stay on the damn tour. So it sounds like the tour guide is like foul-mouthed, como si es un mal hablado. Pero realmente está viendo la gira del tour de la presa. But he's like, everybody stay on the damn tour. Very funny. Check it out now that you know the double meaning as well. And I think you'll get a kick out of it. Te reirás. Let's see. German says, this damn dam is overflowing now. How do I fix this damn situation? You could say damning or damned. Y tenemos una expresión, I'll be damned. Okay, I'll be damned is Dios. No me lo creo. It's total disbelief. Are you kidding me? I'll be damned. It's vaya, caramba, right? So remember, very, very rich word, the first one too, and it doesn't have to be offensive. If I say you make a damn spaghetti, okay, that means a really good one, right? So it's like when we say in English, something is the shit. It means it's awesome. It sounds like it's not, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Chris says, you're damn good. No, you guys are damn good. Great example, Chris. Open Water says, AA, you cracked a joke with a fish hitting a dam and saying damn, didn't you? I think so. Good memory. Yeah, it makes sense. The fish was swimming, and what did he say when he hit the wall? Damn. Presa. Maldito sea. We love learning with a little bit of humor, and we will when we get to our joking section. But right now, it's time for your spelling bee. The damn spelling bee. Maldito. It's a good damn spelling bee. Molona.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, folks. Round one of our spelling bee is hellish. Hey, something's going on over here. All right, well, let's see what we've got. As always, I'm going to give you 6 concepts. It's not really 6 words. They're more like 12 words. Yeah, cada uno es dos. Yeah. So you're going to get 12 words, really 6. So separate them, as I said, in 6. And good luck. Good luck, because as you know, the first round, I'm not your friend. Yeah, sorry. I'm a dick. Un cabrón. Yeah, dick es verga, pero también es un cabrón. Okay, but the second round, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. All right, here we go, folks. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word. The first one is G-R-E-A-T space B-R-I-T-A-I-N. The second one is Q-U-A-R-T-E-R-I-N-G space A-C-T. The next one is T-H-I-R-T-E-E-N space C-O-L-O-N-I-E-S. The fourth one is M-U-T-I-N-Y space A-C-T. The fifth one is T-H-I-R-D space A-M-E-N-D-M-E-N-T. And the last one is I-N-T-O-L-E-R-A-B-L-E space A-C-T-S.
¿Qué tal vas de ánimo? ¿Necesitas un empujón? ¿Un poco de aliento? No sweat. No te preocupes. Pásate por vaughantienda.com y hazte con nuestro nuevo material multimedia. 365 días de wellness e inglés. Y viene de la mano de tu propio personal trainer profesional, David Gómez Agudo, conocido por sus miles de seguidores en las redes como Fitbull Coach. Trabajarás fitness, mindset, nutrición y por supuesto el inglés. Y viene con más de 250 vídeos para que entrenes junto con tu coach. Es un win-win. Haz que este año sea tu año, con 365 días de wellness e inglés.
All right, that's right. Wellness, English. Who couldn't use a little bit of wellness? ¿A quién no le vendría bien? Well, this mixes positive mind, body, and spirit habits, and it's a great book. I've got my hand on a copy, and awesome. Congratulations to the team who made it. Really good material, positive. We need more materials like that out there. So excellent. All right, let's see. We've got a couple people who think they have figured out our spelling bee here. Let's see. The first one to take a stab at it is Born to Iron Man. The first one's correct. So is the second one. The third one, fourth one, and fifth one are also correct. And the sixth one as well. Wow. Also, Chris and Laura. Wow. The Holy Trinity. Born to Iron Man, Chris Valrol and Laura have knocked it out of the park in round one of our spelling bee. Oh, wait. Wrong effect. That's the one I was looking for. Round two. This is for the rest of us. I say us because I include myself in the round two, people. I'm not that fast. Yeah, I've got to be honest. I am not that fast. As much as I try to be, my brain just doesn't work that fast. In fact, that's as fast as I can go. I mean, you guys got my fastest in round one. Now, round two, I'm going to go to normal speed. I think a speed that anybody with a low intermediate level should be able to follow along. All right. The first one is GREAT space BRITAIN. The second one is QUARTERING space ACT. The third one, THIRTEEN space COLONIES. The fourth one, MUTINY space ACT. The fifth one, THIRD space AMENDMENT. Mucha M y N en esa, ¿eh? Por eso hay que ser muy específico con el M o N. Right? M, la boca está cerrada, M al acabar. N está abierta, N. ¿Ves? Sonrío. All right, and the last one is INTOLERABLE space ACTS. All right, there you go, folks. Now, what's going on here? Well, as always, we're going back in history to the year 1765. And this is when Great Britain passed the Quartering Act, which required the 13 colonies to house British troops. All right, let's take a look at it. So, quartering. Well, quarters means your living quarters, right? Quarters is donde vives, okay? In fact, let's see how they translate it here. Quarters. I'm going to go back to my quarters. Yeah, mi cuarto. Yeah, cuarto. My quarters, trimestre, no, is it no? Yeah, mi distrito, mi barrio, mi zona. Okay, my quarter. But it's also 25 cents. Un cuarto. O sea, es un cuarto y es un cuarto. Okay? And we have an expression, and it's also a Led Zeppelin song, no quarter. To give no quarter is show no mercy. Okay? Piensa. So, and it comes from here because this basically meant if a British soldier came to your house and he was injured, you had to give him quarters. Okay, you had to house him. Okay, now I want you to pay attention here. House, I know you know how to say the word house, but did you know as a verb, it's to house? Yeah, albergar. So this Quartering Act, it was a series of acts, and it was passed by the Parliament of Great Britain, and it required local authorities in the 13 colonies of British North America to provide British Army personnel in the colonies with housing. ¿Ves? Otra vez, la S no es housing. It's housing, right? They need to house them or provide housing. ¿Ves? Yo sé que sabes la palabra house, pero estos son variaciones aquí ahora. Vienen de lo mismo, but just so you know, FYI. So they had to provide housing and food. Wow, that's really nice. And this was an amendment, sound familiar? Amendment to the Mutiny Act. And mutiny, perdona, is motín? Is that how you say it? Mutiny, it happens when there's a ship. Motín, rebelión. Okay, motín or rebelión. So, and these intolerable acts, which intolerable acts was number 6. These were a bunch of acts that were put forth by the British Parliament, in the new territory. And they were seen as intolerable, abusive. They were even referred to as the insufferable acts or coercive acts. And there were 5 punitive laws that the British Parliament passed, including the Quartering Act. And this was basically, they wanted to make an example. If you guys know about the Boston Tea Party, they wanted to punish anyone who was going to rebel, and they wanted to do it publicly. And so they went hardcore. And, well, this was a key development. One of the, obviously, a war is not this happened, then this happened, right? Not just one thing triggers a war. It's usually reaching a boiling point, People are like, okay, we're being repressed too much. In the United States, the new colonies, they were saying, wait, taxation without representation. So you're taxing us, but we're not really, we don't get a vote. We don't get, we're just paying you for what? And then when they started passing these acts that, again, listen to the names, it tells you how they felt about them. Okay, it was called the intolerable, the insufferable, or coercive acts. And again, all of these things led to the American Revolutionary War, which began in 1775. So if you look at it, 1775, and that was the beginning of the end, if you will, right? That's when we finally had enough. We reached our boiling point. También se puede decir. I think you say that in Spanish as well. So let's take a look. The first one is Great Britain. Now, I know I say it with that American Great Britain, but Great Britain. You can say Great Britain, but don't say Great Britain, right? Great and not great, great. Great Britain. The second one, the Quartering Act. So you know that word act. Tenéis lo mismo que un acta. And quartering, now we know what it means, is you got to offer quarters. Un cuarto, un sitio para albergarle, okay, to house the person. The next was the 13 colonies. Those were the original 13 colonies of the United States. And those were the New England colonies, which were New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. You had the middle colonies, that was New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. And then the southern colonies, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. The Mutiny Act, which, as I said, this was part of it. And then you had the Third Amendment. You recognize that word too, right? Enmienda. Okay. And this was a response to the Quartering Acts. Okay. And they put restrictions on the quartering of soldiers in private homes. So you had to consent now. It's not like, well, I'm a war, prisoner of war or whatever. You got to take me in, right? Acogerme, to take someone in. So this Third Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, that kind of flipped that. Very, very interesting. You know who's an expert on this stuff? Richard Vaughn. Richard Vaughn could tell you the ins and outs and every little detail as he teaches you English. Amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 4 of today's show with no name. We are going to kick off this part of the show with our double trouble. And this is one of those double troubles that we've looked at. What do I mean? I mean, those are the ones where I say, guys, This is a good double trouble. And then I write it down. That's one of those. So, as my buddy Fitz's program is called, no damn excuses. No damn. Okay. It's not damn. But I wanted to use that word again for you. It would be a good name for it. No damn excuses already. Come on, man. Well, you can catch Fitz's program every day before this program. It's on at 9:30 a.m. But if you can't tune in live, you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts, along with all our amazing shows here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to stop by vaughntienda.com as well if you're looking for materials. If you're looking for courses from masters to Vaughn Town to Weekend Town to one-to-one to group classes, whatever your needs may be, we've got you covered. You can stop by our website, grupovaughn.com. grupovaughn.com, or stop by in person in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. All right, amigos, it is time for today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos. It is time for today's Double Trouble. And as I said, we looked at one of the meanings before. Okay, I think maybe it was probably about a week ago. Okay, so it depends when it goes into the script. I jot them down, and either I have a double trouble already prepared, or also I'll say, oh, I'm looking for one. So as I said before too, you guys a lot of times send me double troubles. Feel free when you're sending me your voice note for the question of the week, you can send me a double trouble or two as well. In fact, many of you take advantage of that and say, hey, Alberto, love the show. You know, you always give me some wonderful feedback. You leave me your voice note and you say, oh, and here's a double trouble. Thank you very much. Thanks for contributing to our show. But here's one you should know because it came up in a past episode. All right. So this is technically a review. Well, not really, because the second usage in this double trouble, I don't know if we've looked at. The first one, definitely. All right, enough. Here we go. You got to use the same word twice, as you know. Gente de cada condición social elige abandonar a sus seres queridos. Difficult to say. So, gente de cada condición social elige abandonar a sus seres queridos. Okay, it's just kind of a weird sentence, but well, life is weird, isn't it? Gente de cada, and that's the one we looked at. We looked at how to say condición social. Gente de cada condición social elige abandonar. I'll give you a clue. It's a phrasal verb. Abandonar a sus seres queridos. Do you know how to say seres queridos? All right, well, we're going to find out in today's Double Trouble. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
Ogre! 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 Ogre!
Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame.
Ogre! Ogre!
People judge you differently than they did in high school.
Ogre! 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 Ogre!
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Hello, my name is Fitz, and I'm an Irishman. I'm a very Irish man. And very soon, that's going to be a very important day in my life.
It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by our buddy Fitz. Great Scott. Mark your calendars. Tuesday, April 1st at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. Follow us on social media for more information.
This, my friends, is a pint of beer. Is pionta bior esho. Is pionta bior esho. Sláinte.
All right, Sláinte, and we'll see you there. Sláinte's cheers. We'll see you there on the 1st of April. It's free. So if you are available and you want to have a good time, practice your English, be entertained, meet your fellow students and your teachers, I can't think of a better event, a better activity. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night every month, and this month it's April 1st, and it's hosted by Fitz. All right, let's take a look at this double trouble. Open Water says, people of every walk of like. Nope, it's not. Pick to walk out on their loved ones. Okay, all right. It's not walk of like, though, and I would use choose there. I would choose. Pick to me sound, aunque yo te he dicho muchas veces, usa pick. Aquí me suena, no sé, el pick me suena raro ahí, eh? All right, let's see. Laura, people from every walk of life, ahora sí, choose to walk away from their loved ones. Great. But also Open Waters, to walk out on. So similar, to walk away, dar la espalda. To walk out on someone is abandonarles, right? To walk out on. So great job, Open Waters, Laura. Let's see, Chris Valrol. People from every walk of life decide. I don't have the second one. Okay, so the perfect one, people from every walk of life choose to walk out on or walk away from. Yo tengo aquí apuntado to walk out on. To walk out on their loved ones. So that was a tough one, folks. Walk of life, we looked at. And to walk out on someone. Man, you walked out on me when I needed you the most. Me abandonaste cuando te necesité máximo. So it's an interesting one. It's to walk out on. Okay? I'm sure you can think of a good example there, but wonderful job in today's Double Trouble. We looked at the word walk, and remember, is that L pronounced? No way. It's not walk, it's walk. Walk. All right, it's time to move on, my amigos. It's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right, welcome to Name That Movie. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Okay, we've got a problem here. All right, well, let me give you a synopsis of this movie, and maybe you guys can tell me what movie it is. If not, we'll learn from it either way. Don't you worry. Here we go. At the opening party of a colossal San Francisco skyscraper, a massive fire breaks out due to careless building practices by the contractor, threatening to destroy the tower and everyone in it. So at the opening party, the debut, the premiere, right, of a colossal, I think you know what that means, San Francisco skyscraper. Cuidado, no es skycrapper, como dice mi amigo Damián. Bueno, ya no. It's skyscraper. A massive fire breaks out. Estalla. It's a good one if you didn't know it. Okay? A massive fire breaks out. And we looked at fires the other day. Do you remember how to say apaga el fuego? Put it out. The firefighters come and they put it out. So a massive fire breaks out due to careless, descuidado, careless building practices, o sea, construcción mala, by the contractor, right? The builder, threatening, amenazando, to destroy the tower and everyone in it. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got somebody who is killing it here on the show with no name. She got the movie. It's Chris Valrol. Excellent job, Chris. The Towering Inferno. That's right, The Towering Inferno. Steve McQueen, the one and only Steve McQueen, Paul Newman. I mean, we're talking about, as Chris says, what a great cast. Yeah, it's one of those movies that makes you really get lost in the world of the movie. Let's see. Open Water says, yeah, the coolest man ever is the firefighter chief. Oh, yeah. I mean, cool. You got cool next to cool there. You know, 3 cools: Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, and William Holden. 3 guys who are too cool for school. You say in España, más chulo que un ocho. Too cool for school. All right. Yes, Grace, the movie is called Towering Inferno. It came out in 1974. And, well, you recognize the word inferno. It's not infierno. We say inferno. All right, let's take a look at the scene here. Doug Roberts says, I thought we were building something that, well, where people could work and live and be safe. Y estar a salvo. If you had to cut costs or to cut corners, hacer recortes. Okay, we looked at that when we looked at our business idioms last week. So if you had to cut costs, why didn't you cut floors instead of corners? ¿No? ¿Por qué no cortaste plantas? ¿No? En vez de, no, escatimar. And James says, now listen, escucha. Any decisions that were made for the use of alternate building materials were made because I, as a builder, have a right to make those decisions. Yo tengo el derecho de tomar esas decisiones. If I remain within the building code, now the building code is every country, every city has building codes, ¿no? De urbanización. Okay, no pueden ser más de 3 plantas, estos materiales. You know, this bureaucracy that happens when you're going to build something, but it's there for a reason, because if you build over 6 floors, well, then the foundation is not strong enough. So they have building codes, ¿no? Que serían las reglas. They're usually established by authorities, firefighters, things like that. There's fire codes. So it's just making sure todo está en regulación, ¿no? The building codes, they're called. Porque cuando vienes, párrafo 3.2, no puede. That's why they're called codes, because it's written in code. It's true. It's not written for the layman, una persona normal, the layman to understand. So he says, if I remain within the building code, and God damn it, I did. You know, damn it. Maldito sea. We looked at that before. And then Doug Roberts chuckling is that kind of laugh. Chuckling says, building code? Jesus. Building code? Come on, Dunk. Right? Duncan, he calls him Dunk. Come on, Dunk. I mean, that's a standard cop-out when you're in trouble, and a cop-out is an excuse. What a cop-out. Okay? So he says, I mean, that's a standard cop-out when you're in trouble, cuando estás metido en líos. I was crawling around up there. Yo estaba gateando. We looked at that word last week, too. I was crawling around up there. I mean, duct holes and duct. How do you call these? Duct. You've got the air conditioning duct. Learning a little bit about conductos, right? Tubos. In buildings, you'll find ducts to move the water, or the water's in pipes, tubería. But a duct is for air, for example. So he goes, I mean, He goes, I was crawling around up there. I mean, duct holes weren't fire stopped. No estaban listos para bloquear el incendio. Corridors or hallways, as we say in the United States a lot, without fire doors in it. Sprinklers won't work. The sprinklers, los aspersores, the things that put out the fire, right? They sprinkle water on the fire. So sprinklers won't work. And an electrical system that's good for what? Que no vale para nada. I mean, it's good for starting fires. Whoo, boy. Madre mía. Where was I when all this was going on? ¿Dónde estaba yo cuando se permitió hacer esto? Because I'm just as guilty as you and that goddamn son-in-law of yours. What do they call it when you kill people? All right. And there's goddamn again. As I said, that can be quite offensive when you put the word God in there. But hey, at least you know now that that N is totally silent. All right, folks, that was a little excerpt from Towering Inferno. Now it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking. I'm going to tell you some funny, well, corny jokes right now. Corny more than funny. And we'll see if you get them. All right. What did the local fire department call their yearly fundraiser? Okay. What did the local fire department, los bomberos locales, call their yearly, you can say annual or yearly, fundraiser? And a fundraiser es justo como suena, recaudar fondos, evento para recaudar fondos. Okay, a fundraiser. So what did the local fire department call their yearly fundraiser? A fire sale. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I used to see fire sale on signs, and I think, these people are selling fire? And then I realized that's not what it meant. Fire sale. Oh, wow. They have fire on sale at this restaurant, at this hardware store. And really, a fire sale is liquidación. Puede ser por incendio. That's where it came from, the name. But really, it means they're selling everything. Everything must go. Okay? So, fire sale. It says here, you say it in Spanish, liquidación por incendio, pero en inglés también significa vender todo a precios tirados, right? A fire sale. Okay. I've got another one for you. Don't you worry. What happened when the firefighters disagreed? Okay. What happened when the firefighters disagreed? Well, they got into a heated conversation. Heated, caliente, acalorado. Wow, you just had a very heated discussion on the phone, huh? Heated. Okay. All right. I think that would work in Spanish too, right? Acalorado, una discusión acalorada. Firefight. Okay. All right. Last one, I promise. What happens to firefighters who work too much? What happens to firefighters who work too much? Easy. Burnout. They get burnt out or they burn out. And I know you use the word burnout. Lo he visto en español escrito. ¿Padeces de burnout? Pues primero se pronuncia como una E, esa U. Burnout. All right. Really bad jokes, really bad ones. German says that fundraiser was a surefire event. Yeah, it was a surefire success. Great one. Segurísimo. All right, folks, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
For you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is famous birthdays. All right, the first person was born today in 1930. They called him the King of Cool. That's right. The King of Cool. He was kind of like an anti-hero. And during the height, vimos esa palabra, como altura, pero también aquí es el apogeo. During the height of the counterculture in the 60s. He received an Academy Award nomination for his role in Sand Pebbles, but he was also in The Cincinnati Kid, The Thomas Crown Affair, The Getaway, also The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, and Towering Inferno. We just said his name in Name That Movie. Number 2, this woman and her family make music. Oh, great music, beautiful music, Irish folk music, but with a pop kind of twist to it. She is a violinist and, just one member of the group that she co-founded in 1990 with her brother Jim and her sisters Caroline and Andrea. I can't tell you their last name because that's the name of the band. And last but not least, this American actor was born today in 1954. He comes from a family of actors. He was very popular from the TV show Bonanza, which was one of the most popular shows, like a Western-style show in the United States. I think it even had records for being the longest-running show at that time. But he also played Louis Skolnick in Revenge of the Nerds, in those comedy films, Revenge of the Nerds. Oh, I love those movies. All right, let's see. I've got to give them to you because we're going to run out of time here. Number 1, Steve McQueen. Number 2, Sharon Core from the Cores. And number 3, Robert Carradine. And that's going to bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. I don't think anybody got it today. Great job. Chris got our spelling, our famous birthdays. Great job, Chris. Today's Say What soundbite then. They were chanting ogre, 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 ogro. In English, ogre. And he was saying, nerds, nerds. So the chanting is ogre and nerds. And then Lewis says, the birthday boy says, but anyway, college is a whole new ball game. Es harina de otro costal. We say a whole new ball game. La Universidad. This is when they go to college. This is the second Nerds movie. And then you hear, nerds, nerds. And he says, people judge you differently than they did in high school. Te juzgan por otro, no es igual que en el instituto. And then he's screaming, nerds, nerds. And they're looking around and they're like, where are they? ¿Dónde están estos nerds? And then his friend says, I think they're talking about us. And Lewis says, no way. All right, here it is. This is from Revenge of the Nerds 2. Is it Nerds in Paradise? I don't know. Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame.
Ogre, ogre.
People judge you differently than they did in high school.
Ogre, 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 ogre.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
All right, wonderful job, everybody. I just love it. And he really looks like an ogre, the guy they got to play that role as well. All right, well, folks, I don't have time for the jingle or anything. We are out of time. And today we're going to look at Breathless by the Cores, since we're looking at the birthday girl here, Sharon Core. And you know the song, go on, go on. Go on, leave me breathless, sin aliento. Go on, sing it.
Leave me breathless.
Go on, go on. Thank you so much, everybody. Great job. Stay tuned. Jimena Holiday up next. She'll leave you breathless. She'll leave you breathless.
The daylight fades slowly, but time with you is steady.